Okay, Mitch and I are starting another day here, and I'm moving 3/4 inch tongue and groove plywood over to where we're going to lift it up onto the second floor. And you can see I've already lifted a couple of sheets up there. Mitch is spreading glue out over the joists and then laying the plywood down onto it. Now he grabs about a 4-foot 2x4 with the sledgehammer, and he hits the leading edge of the plywood to make the backside lock into the tongue of the previous sheet of plywood. So there goes a couple of other sheets coming up. And then so we work together. He'll be doing some things, I'll be doing some other things. Then there's a lot of running, fetching, keeping the other person going. So right now Mitch is cutting some blocks that need to be installed on the joist next to the stairway rim joist that goes around to the opening. And so the first joist bay next to a wall needs to have solid blocking in it. And so that's what I'm going to be doing here in a second, is installing the blocking. There's 4 blocks going in on each side where we're working right now. So I'm just putting those in place and then getting the framing air nailer and attaching it. Put 8 penny nails on one side and 16 penny nails on the other side. And so the idea of that is that it will stiffen up the floor immediately next to the wall below. And then that is also a shear wall, not the side that I'm on now, but the other side of the stairwell. And we'll be showing what we're going to do with that in a later video. So Mitch is coming up now. We've got the blocks are in place. He is putting some glue down. Now we're laying down another sheet of plywood. Then Mitch is going to grab the hammer and block, and well, maybe he's already done it. Things move pretty fast here in time-lapse speed. And what we're doing right now is we're using some heavy cargo straps to suck in the rim joist to the floor joists, and we're just trying to tighten things up a little bit before we fasten all of our nails. So once we get that, then we'll glue down and nail in the next piece of T&G subfloor. And there you see Mitch, he's already laid the glue down. Or no, actually he marked it, and now he's putting the glue. Now this particular glue gun, the glue coming up, the tube on it failed, and all the glue splooged out inside of the gun, and so he had a mess. So Mitch is going to throw that down to me, and I'm going to clean it out here. There I'm cleaning, scooping all the glue off of the internal workings of our glue gun. Mitch is patiently waiting. So I've got some solvent there. You can just see me at the bottom right. And I've got some solvent to clean off all the stuff inside. If we don't clean it up, then all the moving parts will have glue, and as soon as it dries, then that glue gun will just be junk. So there, we've got the last piece of T&G for the day down, and right now we are going to cut out the stairwell here in a second. We're just marking it. And then Mitch is going to use the circular saw, and there, he's cut the opening out. So now we're just going to kind of run around and do a couple of other things. I think what we're doing now is installing a few more joists down at that end of the house. So everything is kind of done and progress in stages. And so we're still kind of making sure all the measurements are correct. Right now he's marking out where all the hangers go. So we put a tape at one end and then pull the tape all the way down, marking every 16 inches where the joist is going to be. And what we'll do is we'll nail up hangers, and then the joists will be dropped down into the hangers. Alright, Mitch and I are just about to have lunch. Lunch today is leftovers, sorta. Leftover pork from yesterday, pork steaks, with chopped onion and potato. And we're going to have that with some arboreal rice. We've got water boiling for coffee. Mesmerizing. Then, got some bananas for dessert. Some cherry tomatoes that we are going to mix with our salad. And the store had 2-for-1 Lighthouse chunky blue cheese dressing, so that's what I got. I've got milk for coffee and just a little extra flavoring for coffee. And then for dessert, we have a lovely S&W premium fruit cocktail, natural style. And then, if Mitch wants, we've got the trail mix. It's pretty good, but $12.60 a pound. That was expensive. So, anyway, Mitch couldn't get his truck to work, so it is being picked up by a tow truck and taken to a diesel shop where they will make the repairs on it. So Mitch is driving his 67 GTO today, roughing it. Okay, so we're ready. Lunchtime. So Mitch is... What's the matter with the goat? Needed a different rumble, huh? Cool. So they pick up your truck? Back from lunch. We're going to start, see, what are we doing here? Okay, so we are over there working on the joists and joist hangers again. There goes one. And we pull that down into the hanger. And so we're just putting the joists up on this side here, but only a few of them because we have some other work that we need to do in that area, and it's a situation where we need to get a certain amount of this done before we can do a certain amount of that. So there's a lot of running around going on, trying to get things figured out and together. So there goes another joist. Yeah, just kind of had to go and refer to the plans. I think we were talking a little bit about Cano and drug testing. Mariners baseball. Okay, so I'm cutting the next joist. Unfortunately, the measurement that I was given was longer than what the opening was. So I'll run over there, put it up, and then come back and cut it again. Okay, Second time's a charm. And there we go. So at this point, Mitch is going to be starting to work on the stringers for the stairway. I'm pulling out the bracing that's in the stairwell. We don't need that anymore because the plywood on the floor above is holding the house solid now. It's not going to move. So I'm going to get all that bracing out of there, pull the nails out of the wood, and then get the wood out of the way. Then Mitch, you can see he's working on his stair stringers. They start out with some 16-foot 2x12s. So he's going to calculate the rise and run of the stairs. We're ending up with a 7 1/4 inch rise and an 10 1/2 inch run. And then the stair treads will be 11 1/2. So there's about an inch of overhang with the nose of the stairs. And the stairs, we're going to use the 1-inch OSB stair tread that's made for this. And we're using that because the homeowner has decided that they're going to have carpet stairs. The upstairs is going to be all oak flooring through the family room and kitchen. And then it will transition to tile in the laundry room and the bathroom. So I just relocate the camera to the downstairs now. So what I'm working on is shimming under the joists along the side of the house there above the top plates. And we have to do that because there's a little bit of a difference in height between the rim joist and the truss joists. And so they're different material types, and so you have to match things up a little bit. When you go to nail the plywood down, you want to have a smooth transition from one to the next. And there's about an 1/8 inch, and some of them have a 1/4 inch difference. So we just have to get out and use shims to make up the difference in heights. So I have some cedar that I'm working with on the table saw, and I'm cutting them to the width or thickness that we need for each of the joists. Then Mitch is still cutting his stair stringers over there, and so I'm referring to the plans. He had a quick question on the stringers, so I have to look it up and let him know what the answer is. And now I am going to go back and continue with shimming joists. So we shim them, and then each joist gets one nail on the bottom chord of the truss joist, and that goes nails into the top of the double top plate. And they're all lining up just nice and flush with the top of the rim joist above. And then when we do the rest of the flooring tomorrow, then everything will go nice and smoothly across all the different types of materials. So you can see Mitch has got one of his stair stringers in place right now. He doesn't have the steps cut out yet. He's still double checking everything to make sure that the rise and the run fits in the space. So we have to check and make sure that it meets all the clearance standards. Down at the bottom of the stairs, we have to meet the height clearance with the header at the bottom of the stairwell. And so it looks like we're going to meet that okay. We have 81 inches of head clearance, at the bottom step, and then the floor directly under that is 87 inches. So the clearance is no issue for us. You wouldn't want anybody going down a flight of stairs and bonking their head on the ceiling as they come down. Mitch is satisfied with his layout, and he's cutting out all the triangles of the stairs. You can see the steps.
Stairway and install it, because it'll be a lot easier to go up and down the stairway than it is to go up and down the aluminum ladder. And the stairway is right in front of one of the doorways, so it's almost a straight shot. Second floor here shortly. That's a lot of materials. So we've got plenty of work to keep us going, but it will be nice to get the roof trusses and put a roof over us. So that will probably happen over the next couple of weeks. So it's the end of the day. We're cleaning things up now, giving everything a sweep, covering up all the tools. And you're gonna hear my end of the day review. So I'm gonna close out my narration here and let me talk live at the job site. Okay, and that is another day done. So today we got a bunch of joists installed. There goes Mitch on the Harley, way off in the distance, the headlights. Got our stair stringers in. There's our thrust block at the bottom. So those are the stair stringers there. Got some joists going across up here. Go up periscope. So there you can see got a bunch of 3/4 TNG subfloor plywood decking down now. And
got joists over on this side here. So today was a pretty good and productive day. Okay, I do not have a drone, but I do have a nice tall tripod. Okay, so that is it for today. We got a pretty good amount of work done. And tomorrow, see in the morning, I'm going to pick up the stair treads to do the stairs. So we need 13 steps. So I will get 7 1-inch OSB stair treads. They're 1 inch thick with a rounded nose on the front edge. And then after we get that in, then we will start to do the rest of the decking and joists. How you doing? Good.